All right, ready? Yep. Okay, GladrapChannel here with the Waikato warrior, Cairo George. Cairo, a big announcement today, very interesting news. So David is finally turning pro. I know this was in the discussions for a while, but what are your thoughts? What are your feelings? Is it time?
Yeah, it's definitely time. It's going to be good for David to have the eyeballs on him, when this show eventually happens, because I feel like if he has the right opponent, I think David could steal the show here. This guy's world class. He's beaten world class guys, and it's going to be good for him to get seen and get recognised. Yeah.
Just want to address the elephant in the room. Like, obviously, there was quite a lot of tension just now. Just for the public that are watching and tuning in that just don't really understand, could you maybe break it down as to what the tension is? Between Eugene and Kevin and what's happening?
That caught me off guard. I wasn't really too sure what was going on there too. I know one thing is they've put Hemi's name forward to be a replacement opponent if Junior couldn't fight, and then I suppose they feel like they're not getting the media attention that they deserve when he was saying, why isn't Hemi up here but David's up here, and I assume that's what that was about, but I don't really know that. That caught me off guard as well.
Yeah, because in a way Eugene sort of disrespected Kevin. Like at one stage he said kiss my ass, and he also said we run the streets. I wasn't really sure what that meant.
The whole run these streets things, Kevin Barry and his family, they live in Las Vegas. I think what he means by we run these streets is you guys have arrived here and we run these streets, and there was talks of them partying with celebrities or something. He mentioned something like that, so I think he's just more or less saying, this is our streets, we got our area close to these streets here in Auckland, they're from here. So I think at the end of the day, I think it's all just banter and build up, I think.
David Nyika's name got dragged into the mud a bit. Like I think he was sort of accused for betraying maybe. Can you a little enlighten us on that?
Well, in previous camps that Junior's had, David's gone as a sparring partner for Junior, and when Israel fought Anderson Silva, David was also hired as the main sparring partner, and then when this opportunity come up, they offered him to come back in again, and I think that they assumed that he was just going to be loyal to them and go back to them, but this is a business, man. This is professional boxing, and you've just got to take the deal that suits you better, and financially and everything.
And plus, David is a young fighter, right? I mean, he's just gonna, as you said, it's nothing personal. It's just a business. So first come, first serve, in a way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and because what you say, he is a young guy, and because he's been there and sparred those guys, going into a different camp, he's going to get different looks and learn something, where he's already experienced with those guys. So it's quite good for him to see how another camp operates and the training regime with another camp. So it's good for his development, it's good for business, and so it made sense.
The next couple of questions I'm going to ask just as a journalist, but you feel free to answer. But you've been in the sparring sessions, you've witnessed it. How did it go?
They've gone real good. I mean, both Joseph and David are world-class boxers, so they're pushing each other, keeping each other sharp. So nothing but good things can come from it.
Are they competitive? Are they?
They're really competitive.
There was a comment here that someone got hurt in sparring. Any truth to that?
Nah, I was surprised to hear that. Like they're saying he's got a broken rib or something. That's not true. Like me and Dave just drove up this morning. We're going to head back after this press conference, and we'll be in the gym this afternoon. There's nothing to announce there. And
he did show the body. They didn't look like any bruised ribs at all. No inflammation. So he's looking good. David, is it true he trains himself? I mean, what is that?
Yeah. So like even how it came about with me being in this position, really. We were both kind of just orphan boxers, both in Hamilton. I take a lot of the responsibility of my own training. Like I have Lolo that's with me, but he lives here in Auckland, so I take a lot of the responsibility for my own training. And David was in the same boat, so the relationship started with us just being basically two orphan boxers that banged together, and we were just helping each other out. And the relationship's kind of grown from there over the last 3 years. And then so we're here now. But this guy has fought and beaten world-class boxers, just basically controlling what he's doing himself. He doesn't really need anyone in particular, but there's a couple of us in Hamilton, like there's me, there's his brother Josh and his father, and we just help him out wherever we can. We're there to support him and help him wherever we can, but he takes the reins and he's in control of when he's training, what he's doing, and it seems to be working well for him and us. So yeah.
So there's talks for a new opponent. So there's a lot of eyes on David. Like, his future's bright. How do you see it unfolding? How do you see it playing it out? How do you see Dave's career going?
I see it being good. Like this show in particular is going to be a real good one for him to debut on, because there's going to be so many eyes on it. And with the date being pushed back, that's good for us, because they couldn't even get an opponent for this date anyway. And with the event being pushed back, they might be able to get a suitable opponent. Hopefully someone that is good enough to push Dave and really bring out the best of him, because I think with the right opponent, David could really steal the show here. So, yeah.
And when are we going to see the Waikato Warrior in the ring again?
Well, I was actually trying to get on this card as well, but now that the date's been pushed back, I might try and give Dave Higgins another nudge, and there might be international travel at that time as well. So that was kind of like the hold-up with me, is the opponent that we were getting was from overseas. I was meant to fight an Australian back in March, and because of COVID, it's just kind of been pushed back, and so I basically had to sit this year out because of COVID. But if there's some sort of travel between New Zealand and Australia, I'll give Dave Higgins a little nudge and see if I might be able to jump on this card too. So.
Thank you, Cairo. Thanks for breaking it down for all the fans out there, and looking for the future. To see Dave and how he shines, and obviously you.
No, thank you guys. Thank you for always backing and supporting boxing.
Thanks, Cairo.